students. So today we are going to discuss the J advanced pattern for isomerism. So in these questions you will notice one thing, that we have covered mostly the tautomerism part. So out of the isomerism, out of all the topics what we have discussed in the isomerism, mostly the questions from tautomerism come up in the J advanced and mains. So you need to focus attention, and let's just start off with the first question. What do we have? Which of the following pairs are not position isomers? So it's a basic isomer type question, that means included in structural isomerism. So I need to find out which are not position isomers. So what are basically position isomers? So position isomers are those which are having same molecular formula but different positions of functional groups or the double or triple bonds which are included in the molecules. So it is different position of double or triple bonds, or I can say again the different positions of functional groups. But what remains the same is the same molecular formula. That is the only criteria for each and every isomerism. So let's just now move on to the options. Option number 1, what do we have? These two molecules. So if you look over here, the position for this O, what is this group? This is the functional group, that is ether. And if you look over here, I have got carboxylic. Here this is carboxylic. Now in the first case, you can notice that the position of the oxygen here, that means it is starting off with the methyl, then we are going on to the oxygen, starting off with the methyl and going on to the oxygen. So this very position for this functional group is completely fixed if you see. Whereas, where are the changes actually? Changes are going on within the chains. That means it is not the position isomer, but what kind of an isomer? It is chain isomer. Now, if I move on to this very part, COOH, COOH. So earlier, the COOH was on to the very first carbon, but the rest of the chain was N1, 2, 3, N propane. But if you see over here, now the structure has been changed and even the position of this functional group has been changed. So I hope you are able to notice it. Now if I move on to the next two options, what are the next two options? Okay. So the first option over here, that is the C. C is having again 2O, these are nothing but the functional groups, again 2O, functional groups. So the position of the functional groups is again changed, showing what? Position isomer. So that is also position isomer. Why? Because over here there were only one carbon atom between the oxygens. Here I have got two carbon atoms, but still the molecular formula is same. Now what I got? Just like the carboxylic acid one, we have got OH here, and now the position of the OH has been changed, but still the molecular formula is same. So again this is what? Again this is position isomer. So if I look at the options, all of the options, what do I get? Here I have got two position isomers again, and in the previous one I have got again this is position, but this is not, because here the position of this oxygen has not been changed at all. The remaining chain has changed. That means this is chain isomer, not the position. I have got the answer. I needed to find out not position isomer. So that is this very case. I hope everybody has got the answer here. Now let's move on to the next question. What do I have next? Identify the correct statement. So you need to find out the correct statement. Dimethyl ether and ethanol are chain isomers. So let us just draw the structures for that. So what is dimethyl ether? It is this. And what? Ethanol. So over here, if you see, the molecular formula is same. It is C2H6O, C2H6O. But what is the difference over here? The type of functional group. So this is not chain isomer but functional isomers. So it is functional isomerism. I hope you all are able to recall the definitions for each and every type of isomerism. Now, ethanoic acid and methyl methanoate are position isomers. So what is ethanoic acid? So ethanoic acid is this. What is methyl methanoate? That is methyl methanoate. Again what? Again I have got similar kind of molecular formula, that is C2H4O2, C2H4O2 in both of the cases. But what is differing is the type of functional group. Again what it is? It is functional isomerism. Again this is functional. Now if I look on to N-butane and isobutane, they are saying N-butane and isobutane are functional isomers. So let us just see. I have got N-butane, that is this. And isobutane. That is isobutane. N-butane and isobutane are functional isomers. Is it so? If you see, the chain has been changing. So it is nothing but the chain isomers, not the functional. Because here there is no kind of a functional group or a double bond present, double or a triple. So this is chain isomers. Now if I see over here propane 1-ol and propane 2-ol. Propane 1-ol is what? It is okay, here I have made propane 2-ol. And what about propane 1-ol? Present on the first carbon. That means this. Here if you see, not the type of functional group is changed, that means this is not functional isomerism. Here the carbon chain is none of our concern, the carbon chain is remaining as it is. What is changing is the position of this functional group. That means this very statement is correct. These are nothing but the position isomers. I hope everybody has got the answer. You need to analyze each and every option given in the question very accurately. So D is the answer. Now let's move on to the next question. The type of isomerism observed in urea molecule. So let us just draw the structure and need to see what type of isomerism is actually shown by urea. So that is nothing but the urea molecule. What kind of an isomerism will that be? Can I change the functional group? No, I cannot. Because if I need to change the functional group, make it somewhat terminal, let's say that this very functional group, I change it into CHO. Then how will I complete the entire chain? I have got only nitrogens left. So there won't be same molecular formula. So that is why it is not a chain isomerism. It cannot be a position isomerism. It cannot be a functional isomerism. So what it would be? It is nothing but the tautomerism here. So it depicts the tautomerism. So how does it shows the tautomerism? Let us just draw the tautomer. This hydrogen will be acidic and will be attracted towards this oxygen. And how will I get the form? It will be like this. So it is amido form and this is imidol. Amido and imidol. Instead of ketoenol, in the case of urea, I name it as amido and imidol. I hope everybody has got it. This is nothing but the tautomerism. So that is tautomerism. And finally, we have got it answer, that is D over here, not chain, not position, non-geometrical, but tautomerism. So let's move on to the next one. What do I have? Next question says, which one of the following compounds cannot show tautomerism? So as I said, I'll be covering mostly questions from the topic tautomerism. It is mostly repeated topic. So let's now check out which of the following compounds cannot show. You need to be very careful while reading the question. Cannot show tautomerism. So let us just observe. For the tautomerism, what is the condition? The condition number 1 for tautomerism is you need to have alpha hydrogens which are acidic. Also, alpha hydrogen must be attached to that carbon, or I can say to the carbon which is unsaturated, to the saturated carbon. So if you observe over here, I have taken up 5 options, not typically a pattern of JEE Advanced, but I have taken it the 5th option in order to increase the level of difficulty. So here I need to find out that compound which cannot show the tautomerism. So you need to find out the alpha hydrogens, that too acidic, and that too connected with a carbon which is saturated. That means having no kind of double or triple bonds. So that is our main aim. In the very first acetone, we have got so many alpha hydrogens, if you see over here. Now in the B part, if you observe this very carefully, this is the enol form of this ketone. That means definitely it is a tautomer itself. It is the enol form itself. That means it can undergo tautomerism. Now let's move on to the C part. What do I have? In the C part, again if you observe, this very part does not have any alpha hydrogen, but over here I have got 2 alpha hydrogens. Clear? In the D, what is there? So in D, there is one hydrogen here, that is alpha hydrogen. But if you look very carefully, the carbon onto which it is attached is unsaturated, having a double bond. That means this cannot show tautomerism. Cannot show tautomerism. That means I am left with option number E. Again it has got 1 alpha hydrogen and 2 more alpha hydrogens. So I hope everybody has got the answer. The answer here is D. A very simple question, you need to have the concepts right. So let's move on to the very next question. So the next question says, okay, I need to find the maximum enol content. What is enol? That is again a tautomer of the keto form. So let us just draw very basic keto-enol form here. So I am taking up acetone in this case. I need to do is what? To create an enol form. So the enol form will be this. So that is keto, that is enol. And the question is actually asking the enol content. That means how many or by what amount the enol form can be formed. So more the number of alpha hydrogens, more will be the enol content. So that is what we need. More alpha hydrogens, more enol content. That means let us now count the number of alpha hydrogens here. So if you see over here, this is nothing but acetone again, CH3, CH3, having 6 alpha hydrogens here. If you look at the option number B, I have got 3 from here, 3 from here and 2 from here. That means I have got 8 alpha hydrogens. Now if you look over here, instead of a methyl, I have a hydrogen here, just a hydrogen. So how many? 3 from this side because this is methyl and this 1 hydrogen, in a total of 4 alpha hydrogens. And over here 3, 2, 1. That means 4 and 5. I have got 5 alpha hydrogens. So as I told you, more the number of alpha hydrogens, more will be the enol content. So I have got my answer as B. What is this compound over here? This is acetyl, this is acetyl acetate. That is the compound over here, also known as AA. It's a very famous, very popular compound used to show special kind of tautomerism. That means it involves the intramolecular hydrogen bonding. I hope you remember the concept. Now let's just move on to the next question. Question number 6, what does it say? Now, the order of stability of the following tautomeric compounds is. So I need to find out the order of the stability of these 3 compounds given. So if you see over here, I have got an equilibrium condition for these 3 compounds. These 3 are actually present in equilibrium. So what each and every compound says, let us just discuss. So this is nothing but, okay, now as you can see, this is the only form, that is keto form. That is the keto form. And also if you recognize, this is nothing but acetyl acetate, AA compound. That is the keto form. Where are the available alpha hydrogens? I have got it here. And these 2 sides. Which is more acidic? More acidic means more easily getting removed. Which kind of hydrogen is that? This very hydrogen. Because it is surrounded with 2 withdrawing groups, that is 2 keto groups. That means it results in the formation of this very compound, first of all. And if you see over here, how does the hydrogen bonding is involved in this very structure, in this very enol form is like this. Also, this hydrogen bonding is resonance stabilized. So this hydrogen bonding is somewhat like this. So that is how it is going. So here I have got intramolecular H bonding, intramolecular H bonding plus what? Plus the resonance. All these factors will be contributing to maximum stability, definitely. That means number 3 must be the most stable. I need to find out the order of the stability. Now let's look at these 2. So what are these 2 compounds saying? if you see over here, this is a proper keto form having 2 keto groups. And if you look at here, what is it? Again an enol form, this is an enol form. And if you look here very carefully, this enol form is not very stable, because here the acidic hydrogen that has been removed is from this very carbon, making a very unstable kind of a structure, because this is not so acidic as compared to this. That means out of these two, this is more stable, then comes the proper keto form, which is very stable, having 2 stable keto groups. But over here I have got somewhat an unstable kind of a structure having this very formation, that is CC double bond. So CC double bond and comparison with the keto form, it is actually the keto form is more stable. I hope everybody has got the concept. That means 3 followed by 2 followed by 1. That is the order of the stability. Now let us just check our answer. Do we have a correct option here? 3 followed by 2 followed by 1. Yes, I have got my answer. That is D. Now let's go on to the next question. It's the multiple choice question and indeed very easy. Tautomerism again. Tautomerism is exhibited by this very compound over here. This. So just analyze all the compounds here. I am taking from option number D. So in option number D, if you see, where are the acidic hydrogens available? Here are alpha hydrogens, 4. If you look at option number B, again I have got 2 alpha hydrogens. Here again I have got 2 alpha hydrogens. But over here onto this very carbon, I am not considering any kind of alpha hydrogen which will be involved in tautomerism. Why? Because in this very carbon, the carbon is attached with a double bond. We need not have this criteria in the tautomerism. I hope that is clear to you. So I am not considering this very carbon, but yes, tautomerism is actually exhibited by this molecule. If I come on to the C, what do you observe? I have got alpha hydrogens, yes, but all the alpha hydrogens are again what? Connected via double bonds, connected with unsaturated carbons, making this structure very unstable, not showing tautomerism, will not show tautomerism. Because the condition for tautomerism, the second one that we have discussed, is not fulfilled by this very compound. So let us just check option number A as well. If I try to expand this option, CH, I have got CO and a carbon which is again bonded with 3 carbons, and a similar kind of scenario, I need to have 3 times. Also this. This is the structure what is depicted over here. Now if you see over here, I have got so many carbonyl groups, and what is the alpha hydrogen visible and available over here for the tautomerism is just 1, that is this very hydrogen. All the other hydrogens are not alpha but beta. So I hope everybody is clear with the fact this molecule is also exhibiting tautomerism. That means I have got my answer. Since this was multiple choice question, I have got answer A, I have got answer number, yes, answer number B, I have got answer number D but not C. So it's A, B, D. I hope that is clear to you. Now let's take up the next question. So the next question says, okay, it's the integer type question now. the answer to each of the following, okay, you need to actually answer it in integer form. So the integers must be having such kind of options. The correct answer to the question numbers A, B, okay. So basically what you need to do is you need to have one particular integer answer for each and every question. Let us just now read up the question. How many of the following cannot show tautomerism? You need to mark out those which cannot show the tautomerism. So you have got so many kinds of compounds if you see. Let us just quickly draw each and every compound one by one. So what do I have? I have got acetophenone, that is acetophenone. Now I have got acetaldehyde, okay. Acetophenone, that means having a ketonic group, so it will be COCH3. That is the first compound. I have got acetaldehyde, I have got cyclohexanone, and I have got acetylacetone. I have got acetylacetone. We also know this compound, this is nothing but what we have just discussed in the previous questions. I have got benzoquinone, even this very compound we have just discussed. Acetone, benzaldehyde, this is benzaldehyde. Acetone, butanone, ethyl acetoacetate. So that is what we have. We have got so many kind of compounds. Just need to check which all are having the alpha hydrogens and we will be having our answer then. So here, do I have alpha hydrogens? Yes, I have got 3. So this will show tautomerism. Here as well I have got 3, this will show tautomerism. Here I have got 4, this will show tautomerism. If you see over here, again AA always gives tautomerism. If you see over here, so just be very careful. Benzophenone we just have discussed, this very compound is having alpha hydrogens, yes, but what is the thing over here? The carbon is attached with a double bond. That means it will not undergo isomerism. Over here again carbon is attached with alpha carbons and alpha carbons have hydrogens, but these are again attached with unsaturated carbons. So it will also not show the tautomerism. If you see over here, I have got alpha hydrogens, it will show. This definitely yes, this will show. If you see over here, again I have got so many, this will also show the tautomerism. So that means out of all, the question was how many of the following cannot show. So I just need the integer for that. I have got benzoquinone and benzaldehyde as the compounds not showing tautomerism. That means the answer here is 2. So it is 2 is the answer here, which is, okay, it is benzoquinone and benzaldehyde. So I hope everybody has got the answer here. Let's take up the next question. Okay, it's now the assertion reason type question. So we all know what is the criteria for assertion reason. Statement 1, I have been given 2 statements. If the statement 1 is true, statement 2 is true. Statement 2 is the correct explanation. Statement 1 is true, statement 2 is true. Statement 2 is not the correct explanation. Statement 1 is true, 2 is false. 1 is false, 2 is true. So these are the options that we need to select. Let's just move on. So what kind of a question do I have? I have got this and this are resonance structures. So let us just have it. This is the compound and this is the compound. CHOH. Okay. CH2, CHOH. Right. CH2, CHOH. So if you see over here, these two have been depicted as the resonance structures. Do you see any kind of a resonance over here? I don't see it. I only see the tautomerism going on over here. So the tautomerism will be, this hydrogen will be abstracted towards the oxygen, and that is what we get. So this is keto form, that is enol form. That means this is nothing but the tautomerism. Tautomerism making this statement number 1 incorrect. Now let's move on to the statement number 2. Tautomers differ both in the position of atoms as well as electrons. Definitely yes. If I consider the tautomerism, this hydrogen got shifted along with the shifting of the electrons as well. That means this very statement is correct. The tautomers are differing in the position of the atoms, yes, and that of electrons. Definitely true. That means we have got our answer, which is statement number D. Statement 1 is false, statement 2 is true. So the answer over here will be, it is, let me just move on to the question, yes. So the answer will be D. So I hope everybody has got the answer here. Now let's just move on to the very last question. What do I have? Again assertion reason time, but here I'll be having one assertion and one reason. So again, if both assertion and reason are true, reason is not the true explanation. Sorry, reason is the correct explanation, that should be answer A. If reason is not the correct explanation, that should be answer B. If assertion is true, reason is false. But if you here look over to the last statement, if assertion and reason both are false, so that should be the option number D. Let us just now take up the question based on it. Assertion is but1-ene and 2-methylprop1-ene are position isomers. So let us just check whether these two given compounds are position isomers or not. But1-ene. This is but1-ene. 2-methylprop1-ene. 2-methylprop1-ene. So that is what we need. Now, they are saying that these are position isomers. So can you see any kind of a position isomerism over here? Definitely yes. The double bond position has now been shifted. Okay. The reason here is position isomers have same molecular formula. Yes. But this does not explain this very condition. Also, if you look here very carefully, the position of the double bond here remains same. It is onto the first carbon atom, and over here also it is onto the first carbon atom. That means making the statement assertion that has been given, these are not position isomers because the chain, the remaining carbon chain has been changed, but the position of the double bond is same. What does position isomer says? The position of the functional groups present or the double or the triple bonds must be changing. So here the position is same, but the chains are changing. So I hope you have got the answer here. Statement 1, that is the assertion here, is not true. Now there is no point of explanation then. Now if I look at the statement number 2, position isomers have same molecular formula. Yes, they have same molecular formula. This very statement is true indeed. So let us just now have our option. I need statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. That means, okay, if both assertion, I have got if assertion is true but reason is false. So this cannot be, and this cannot be. And over here if you look, if both assertion and reason are false, so let us just recheck our options, recheck our question. It says butanene and 2-methylpropanene are position isomers. We have got this statement incorrect. Now, position isomers have same molecular formula. We all know that. But what is the actual thing in the position isomers? It is actually the difference of the positions of functional groups as well as double and triple bonds. That has not been mentioned. So this is not complete definition. Not complete definition. Again making this statement untrue. So I hope everybody has got the answer here. I got it D, if both assertion and reason are false. So it is D over here. Answer is D. So that is all in the case of isomerism. That was JEE advanced pattern exercise. You need to practice most importantly the tautomerism part and just go through all the questions once again. So we'll be back with the next chapter in the next session. Till then, have a good day.